Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching this, know that I appreciate you. Doing something a little bit different today. Recording in the afternoon versus the morning. It is Thursday, September 27th, 2018. It is 3:18 in the p.m. Yeah, this morning I decided not to record because I just didn't feel like it. I just was in a different headspace. So I didn't bother. And then I just now left a follow-up appointment after my surgery. I've had one other follow-up appointment, but this one was with the actual, not the gynae that performed the surgery, but the gynae that recommended the one that performed the surgery. So I just followed up with him, quick visit, gave me some suggestions, and we'll go from there. So yeah, that went pretty decent. Headed to the store now to get a bell pepper and an onion to go with the dinner that I'm going to reheat. I made a ground beef and rice combo last night, and it was good. It just felt like it was missing something. So I think the bell pepper and the onion are going to be what I need to add to it. So yeah, that's what's happening. Now I have a question for you, and I do apologize for the noise. My windows are down. It is a pleasant 81 degrees, and it doesn't make sense to have the air on when the windows are down. So I do apologize or it doesn't make sense to have the air on when it's 81. So I do apologize for the outside noise, but it just feels good. It just feels good. But I do have a question. What do you do when... let me turn this down. I forgot I even had that on. What do you do when someone pushes your buttons? You know, that button to get you to lose control, have you cussing them out, or just angry, you know, whether you say something to them or not. What do you do? And I think I've asked this question before, but I will say this. What I've learned to do is, or not to do, is engage. I don't engage in the foolishness with them. I've opted not to utilize the energy that it would take to do that. And that's one of the things that I've worked on with the therapist that I'm seeing, and something that I knew I just had not been using it. I'm sorry, I just closed the windows because I've parked. I'm at the store and I want to have this conversation before I go into the store. So what she reminded me of is that I have the option of not engaging. I have the option of leaving that person right there where they are and going on about my day. Because one of the things that I've noticed is that, and I noticed this years ago, which is why I say I knew this stuff already. But one of the things that I noticed was that it all takes energy. Everything that you do takes energy. Whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, whether it's a celebration or an argument, whether it's laughter from happiness or tears from crying. Everything that you do takes energy. And I would just prefer not to argue. That's just something I'm not going to do. I refuse to argue with you. And if I get to a point where arguing does ensue, it aggravates me, not only because I've argued with you, but because I've wasted that time and energy arguing with you. Because it takes so much out of me. And I'd rather use that energy doing something else. Totally doing something else. So what do you do when someone pushes that button, that would take you there? One of the things that I used to do in the past and that I will continue, that I will re-engage in doing now, is not necessarily tuning them out, but refusing to give time and space to what they're saying. And it may appear as if you're ignoring that person, but that's not the case. What you're doing is not allowing yourself to focus on what they are saying or doing. You are allowing yourself or getting yourself to focus on those things that are more beneficial to you. So if there is a word that you like to say over and over again, or a thought that you'd like to focus on, or even an object that you would prefer to focus on, why not do that? For me, and I'll probably put this on my other page too, because this is one of those spiritual tidbits. For me, I focus on peace. I focus on not only the word peace, P-E-A-C-E, but I also focus on what that looks like to me. And that helps me not engage in negative interactions with an individual, no matter who that individual is, whether it's a loved one, a friend, or an acquaintance, or just some stranger. I focus on peace. So I'm looking at the word peace in my head, and I'm also focusing on what peace looks like for me, what that feels like for me. And that keeps me from, or helps me to not engage with that person. Two, I make the choice not to engage with that person. I have just said to myself, I'm not going to engage in this discussion, this argument, this disagreement. I'm not going to, I'm just not going to do it. So that's two. So I focus and I choose not to do it. I choose not to waste that energy. And then three is I sometimes have to remember why I'm sorry, there's something in my eye. Remember why this person is important to me. And in remembering why this person is important to me, I'm also remembering what the consequences would be if I were to engage. Because I got to tell you, I have the ability to cut a person with my tongue. And the word says that, the Bible says that the tongue is a two-edged sword. It's like a two-edged sword. And I have that ability to cut a person down to size with my words if I'm not careful, if I'm not measuring my words. That's why I feel like I know that I've said this before in a previous vlog. I know that I've said this before, but I know that I have the ability to do that. So I purposely think about what I'm going to say before I say it. And if I know that even in all of that analyzing and measuring, if I know that even in that I still will say something that's hurtful, I don't speak. I don't speak. And sometimes I can't even look at that person, because even though I may not physically say anything, I may not verbally say anything, my eyes, my expression, my body language even will tell that person what I'm feeling and what I'm thinking of them. So there are times when I can't even look at that person. Sometimes I have to actually walk out of that room so that I don't do what it is that they're trying to get me to do. And that's engage in that conflict. It's not a good space to be in when you do that. It's just, like I said before, it's wasted energy. It's wasted time. You could use that energy and that time on something that's much more positive. One of the things that I used to say to my husband is that I'm not going to argue with you because I could use that energy making love to you. And he would just look at me like I was crazy. But then he got it. And it didn't stop him from time to time trying to get to that level of discussion. It didn't stop him from that, but it does make him think more about going to that level of discussion. And yes, we do from time to time argue. As a matter of fact, I just posted something yesterday about, and by the time you see it, it'll be days away, but I just posted a video yesterday about, arguing. Was that yesterday? No, I edited a video. I didn't post it, but I will get that up there, about arguing. But we do still have those heated discussions,